Hello, welcome to my channel. So glad you guys are here. There is a journal here that I put some buttons on the edge. This is craft text on the binding, and that is KRAFTEX, and it is like a paper and a cloth that it won't tear as easily, so it's great for binding. I do have some charms on the bottom here. I don't know if you can see all of these. There's a bird cage. There is a flower, some sort of like a ladybug, a leaf, a mushroom, and this little mouse or rat or whatever it is. Anyway, so the way I did this mushroom journal was I used a distress crayons on the cover. I put a glue bath over the top of canvas, and then once it dried, I came back and did a distress crayons, and then I moistened them with a wet distress spray, or a sprayer, and then I used a scraper thing, and well, I mixed them all together first. And then the next step I did was I used acrylic inks to get this, and I just smeared it together with a plasticky, whatever, silicone, I don't know what you call the thing. Anyway, let me get in here. On the cover, I have birch bark, which is from my yard. I have some of these Tim Holtz leaves I left peeled up, and the bugs from Tim Holtz as well. The mushrooms, I understand, are not sold anymore in the shop I purchased them from. So cardboard, I had cut out this piece and put burlap underneath it. And then it says, encourage your hopes, not your fears. So inside the cover, let's see if you can see the whole thing. Here we are. So inside, I just added some vine. I have this in my shop at JJ with Joy on Etsy. This here, not the flowers. I added those separately. And then I distressed some and left some plain. I did go ahead and stencil some leaves on pretty much every page. Every page has a tab, almost, not quite 100%. The good thing about this craft text is it will allow you to have a flatter surface to write on. So I just did random papers. I have scrap clusters galore. I have just everything I can put in here that has a woodland vibe, and then some that's not. Hand sewed. I liked this trim. I thought it was pretty. This is just a, different book pages. Tabs on it. The person that's getting this will not have, probably doesn't need a lot of writing room, so I left it, another scrap cluster here. I left it to have kind of a lot of sea, but not a lot of writing. And this says nature. I just use if you plan correctly when you're doing your die cuts, you can use what I call a reverse die cut and put book page behind it, and it makes a real pretty use. But if you, try to use all your paper, that won't work. This is a beautiful journal page here. I tried hand making my own paper clip, and I'm going to consider that a fail because it doesn't really clip very well. I beat it with a hammer and everything, but it looks pretty right there because this is catching it. The fabric is catching it. There's a little washy see-through sticker there. And I watercolored this. I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than the trees by Henry David Thoreau. I did not realize that I left this. Oh, I left it so it could come all the way off. It could be a tuck spot there if you would, if it wanted to be. Some digital kits are in here, but I tried to stay away from digitals for the most of the journal. this was just some packing paper behind this. I thought it kind of looked cool. And a writing space here. Over here, we can put little writing space. I love this penmanship journal or pages that I have to put in there. And I love these leaf pages. So it's got 6 signatures. And this is from a book. I just added randomness. Has some handmade papers in here. I got some specialty papers from a estate sale. And this is mica over the top of dried leaves. Just a random scrap cluster and a different one on the other side. And here is a digital printout. This is a rub-on I got from Temu. I thought that was kind of cool. I did use calendar pages. I can get our little store up here just practically does give them away. They're 49 cents for the longest time, and then they just start giving them away because nobody wants them. And so I buy some at 39 or 49 cents, and then I turn around and get some for free too. So this was wrapping paper here. And I like that. She likes Christmas, so I stuck a little Christmas in there for her. This one is a couple digital kits, or the digitals from another thing. I did this by hand, embossed it, and I'm not quite sure how I did it. I don't remember. I watercolored with distress oxides. And this is a beautiful embossed page. And then this was alcohol inked. My page ripped, but I didn't care because I just added some of this, I call it waterproof tape. It has another name. Oops. Another Tim Holtz card stuffed in that side as well. Another handmade paper. And this is from Temu. That picture is, I don't know where I got it in there, what it's called, but this is from a magazine. I used some fancy stitching on it. Three places I used the fancy stitching. I have it, I never use it. This is an altered paper clip, so that will come off. And then a little button down here with a tree vibe in the back. I did this in my group. I have a group on Facebook. It's called JJ with Joy. I'm also have a page on Facebook with JJ with Joy, and TikTok and Pinterest and YouTube, and you know, I've got it all. But this was a transfer. So I took muslin and a laser printed page, and then I just glue bathed it and stuck it on there and let it dry overnight, and then you just peel it off with water. You spritz it with water and you just keep peeling. And then I added some script on top. So that just flips up. Thought it was a cute little page. This came from Temu, I believe, too. And I think this page came from Temu. This is a feed sack top, the edge that was sewn together, so I thought, why not? I just wanted an eclectic journal, and this little guy came from Temu. This is from a magazine, or a book page. And I didn't even realize that looked like a little smiley face. So I brought in the yellow here and the greens a little bit. Little sunflower stamps from Temu. This is a teacher planning book that I had found at the thrift store. That came from Temu, I believe, and so did this, you know. There's some more of that fancy stitching. I used all kinds of fabric tabs. Just this paper I found at a thrift store. It has deer on it. And then I printed this digital kit on vellums, and I think it goes well with this digital kit here. It makes it look very pretty. And I couldn't tell you who they are. I really have no idea. 3 different digitals, so I mixed them all together. I decided I needed to make my digitals more accessible by not just printing the digital and putting just one digital kit with it. Now this was a digital, someone had altered it and given it to me. So, and this is just a little file folder thing here, like a Memoredex almost, except for it's not the size of a Memoredex. So just different little labels. I stamped on that. There's another stamped on, and I think these are the Tim Holtz stamps. And then it makes a cute little file here. If you guys like what you see here, I would appreciate it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe and hit the bell and you will see more from me. That's just a random page that's coffee dyed there. Now I sturdied up my tabs because some of the tabs are kind of long, so I just put a piece of cardstock inside and then I just sewed down the pages to make it handier. This was just a random old piece of a book page and I thought it looked cool, so I wanted to make a little book, a little, few pages, and left this to be written on too if she so wish. Another Temu page and a little scrap cluster up above. And that's just a contact page from some kind of a planner. Pardon me. Little dots. Those could be, this is a second, or that's the second signature going on to the third. They're different sizes, so it didn't matter to me. Some I stapled in. Here's a little thing, a stamp, and this I think I bought from an Etsy store, but I think they have that at Temu as well. This came from Temu. Another woodland page, scrap cluster. I have a rusty pin with some of this, I think that was a feed sack there as well. And picked the June to go with this journal specifically. There is this. And a little washi sticker. I put bubble wrap inside this so it kind of has a funny little fun feel to it. And then, and everything's, got a little bit of stenciling on the back. More handmade paper. Specialty paper. I don't know if you call it handmade or specialty. I took some pine, my neighbor has pine trees, so I asked him if I could get some of his pine needles to add in there. I have a pine tree, but mine don't have that many pine needles. Another little scrap cluster thingy, fabric cluster. There's some upside down bats. I thought that was a pretty page. Have to have mushrooms. For dirt, I use tea that has been dried from tea bags, and I like that, to use that for dirt, especially under my mushrooms. Another specialty page. That's from a digital kit, couldn't tell you who. Little Tim Holtz thing on top, and then just a little random book there. June again, purposely. A little bee. I have him sticking out of this. That's a digital my friend made. This says, consists not in seeking new landscapes, but it having new eyes. Another little scrap cluster. Random book pages. This is a sticker from Temu. In a forest of 100,000 trees, no two leaves are alike, and no two journeys along the same path are alike. So that is a Etsy store purchase. And you can get, this is Fedco, F-E-D-C-O. You can get a free catalog. And they have some cute stuff in there. But I really, they have some little funny things in there. It's actually a seed catalog, but I think it's fun. It has some like cartoony stuff here and there. These little washi sticker things are from Temu. I actually created this and then I made a copy of it. I made a real film strip out of alcohol inks and I punched it with my, oh, what's the machine called? You know, the binding machine. It starts with a C, but I can't think of what it's called. Not all who wander are lost. And this is one of the Tim Holtz little thingamajiggers. I have a rusty pen with a B over here. And then again, another sticker. I made that into a sticker. Random book pages. I had actually taken a picture of a watercolor that I did and I had it printed out, but then it didn't fit in my journal I wanted to use. And so instead of throwing it away, this is actually, I watercolored it and then I printed it out on photo paper, you know, like at Walmart or something. I don't know. Snapfish. Another fancy stitching there. I had little random pieces left over, so I thought, why not stick it on there? This is from Temu. I had made these years ago, it seems like, and I thought this would be a perfect little place for that altered paper clip. I liked these wolves, and I backed it with a Temu piece. Two different fabrics are there, and here I did a pine. This is a pine cone stitch that I have in my sewing machine. My sewing machine has like 140 stitches. It is a Brother XR 3340 if y'all are interested in where you can get that stitch. And I thought this was cute, the old oaken bucket. I don't know how the song goes, but I thought it was cute. And another little, oh, I forgot to do the back of that. Well, too late now. Another scrap cluster, and this was from a flower book. A repeat, and this is some really cool trim I got off of Etsy. Love it, love it, love it. Here is another little from Temu. I thought, I've got all these things from Temu, now I got to use them, right? Sewed around the edges of that to keep it. But as you see, it kind of gives you a flow, so you're always having something for your eye to catch, and that's what I liked about doing this journal this way. I had this piece that I had made without this. I had that piece, and it didn't, you know, I thought I would like make it into and snip it off, but it fit that page perfect, so I thought, why not? And this is a digital kit that I put side by side. I actually copied that and put it side by side to have it. And here is a little tuck spot right there, and that just fit perfect. Another scrap cluster. I got this from a thrift store. Temu. And magazine. I don't know where I got that, but that's kind of a cool little page. And then on to the last. And here I have a handmade by me, and this is some aquatic plants it looked like to me, so I put the fishy in there. And then I had this from Temu, so I stuck it in the back. So I did mess up and I only got 4 buttons on here. I meant to put 5, you know, because you're supposed to do 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever. But I like how it turned out. I hope you like it too. Give me a thumbs up if you do. I would appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. Remember, your day is full of choices, so choose joy.